Hi viewers, this is Glebro Junction, and in this video I will show you how to build trees yourself rather than going out and paying £10 for a box of 2 trees from the likes of Batman and Hornby. Although they do look very good, they are very expensive, and you normally only get 2 or 3 in a box. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make trees like these. They look absolutely brilliant. And you could probably make about 40 of these for about £6, which is very cheap, and it does look very, very good. And as you can see, I've only made a few so far, but I am in the process of making a few more, but they come out really well. So this is how I make my trees, and hopefully you viewers can benefit from this and save yourself quite a bit of money. So here goes. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is some seafoam trees. These ones are from Gauge Master. Comes in quite a big box, big orange box, and I think you probably get, I'd probably say about a good 40 trees in there. They're just sea moss trees, so they're just basically just the branches with no leaves, and they come in like a creamy whitey colour. And I paid a little over £6 for these. And I say you can make a good 40 odd trees out of one box, and they look very realistic once they're made. The next thing you're going to need is some cheap hairspray. I just got some Tesco hairspray, and I've got some Weathering oil brown spray. I mean, you can use any spray that you want, any colour, grey, any kind of brown. I choose to use this oil brown because it comes out with different darker patches on it, on the sea moss, and it looks quite good. The next thing you're going to need is some green stuff to dip the trees into. In this case I'm just using very, very short static grass. As you can see, it just clumps up. It's just very, very short static grass, like an autumn, sorry, not an autumn, a midsummer green, like a darker green. I think if you go for a very bright green or a yellow, it tends to look very unrealistic, so I'll just go for this one colour, and it's very, very short. I think it's something like a 2.5mm static grass. I prefer to use this over anything like the powdery grass that you can get. I tend to use this on the trees. It comes out a lot better. So what I'm going to do is, this is the diameter of the tree as it comes out. I mean, this is only a small thin one. A lot of them do come out a lot bigger. What you need to do is, they come out a lot longer, a lot bigger as well, so you just need to trim them down into the size that you want. So I've chose to use a long, thin kind of tree, and that's obviously how they look. So I'm going to convert that into this, and as you can see, it looks a lot better. And then once you implement that onto the layout, they look very good. So I mean, for the price of maybe £6 or £7, having a load of trees like that on your layout, rather than paying out hundreds of pounds for ready-made trees, I think it's a no-brainer. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how I turn that into that. Okay, so the first job, once you've trimmed the tree to the desired effect, size and bushiness, all I then did is just get the Weathered brown oily spray paint, and all I do is then I just spray the tree all over, so it gives it a brown texture. I'm going to do this all the way around. Now this is like an oily effect, so it does run, and the actual original colour of the tree does start to shine through, which I think gives it a better effect than just having it one constant brown colour. The next job to do then is to, even when it's wet, get the hairspray, which I'm just using the Tesco's hairspray, just to give it a quick coat of hairspray. And the next job is to get the grass fibres, and then just roll it around inside the grass fibres until you start picking up all the grass fibres onto the actual branches. Now this won't pick it all up straight away, as you can see. It's picked up a bit, so what you need to do is you need to then get the hairspray again and give it another coat, another misting of hairspray. What that does is it locks in the fibres that are already on the branches, and then obviously gives it another coat of say a glue, and then you just dip it in. You just keep doing that until you've got the right amount of grass fibres on the actual branches all over. And I think I've probably just about got enough on there, so give it another coat of hairspray, because I need to put some across the top, like so. And there we have it, it's picked it up quite well. And then all you do is you do a final coat of hairspray just to lock in the fibres onto the branches, like so. To one side. Then all I do is I then add it to this bit of polystyrene. It's handy having a bit of polystyrene because you can just place the trees in there and not going to fall over and not going to damage them. So as you can see, I now have two good looking trees that are ready to go onto the layout. And it's as simple as that, very easy. You can choose to use different fibres or different textures of grass to add on to the tree armatures. I find the CMOS is a lot better product because it gives you the more realistic look of what a tree looks like. Other than you can use the Hornby tree stencils such as these, and I think they just look a bit big, a bit harsh, and to be honest with you, I don't think they look at all realistic. Now a pack of these is about £8 and you only get, I think, about 10 of them in. So to me, these are pointless, wasting your money on ready-made trees or stencils like that. You might as well buy yourself some CMOS from Gauge Master. It's going to cost you £6 or £7. And then obviously some hairspray, and then some weathering dye, and some grass fibres. So I should imagine probably overall it's going to cost you £11 or £12 all in all. But to get 40 or 50 trees looking like this, it's a lot cheaper, a lot easier, and they look very realistic on the layout. So hopefully I'll get some more of these done and put these onto the layout. And that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.